Hello and welcome. Here I am. I'm doing a 9-hour check-in on testing out this brand new makeup that I just got because it was on sale from Laura Geller. Yes, I hadn't ordered from Laura Geller in a long time. I did a docutorial on her, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and it was the last time I really used the foundation. On the website right now, it's on sale, and also if you use the code JL15, JL15, you get an additional 15% off the sale price. So it wound up being like $51, and you got the foundation, and then you've got this kit that has eyeshadows, bronzers, highlighters, and a blush. And I thought, wow, since it's on sale, I'm going to try it. It's been a long time since I've tried Laura Geller. I didn't give her a very good review 10 years ago. And so now I'm at the 9-hour check-in here after trying all the makeup on it. I'm going to go through my entire start to finish, how I made it to the end. And then I went to work. And I think going to work, my eyes were watering. It was very, very hot outside. It was cold inside, and I was sweating when I went outside. So I did notice a few things, and after I do the initial application and show you that, I'll be back with you to tell you what happened, and this is what it looks like 9 hours later. Both sides. You can see my age spots, discoloration, no brows. I'm going to start off with some other products. This is the MCO Beauty #2 Lip Balm. That's one that smells like coconut and pistachio. And we're going into a new product to me. This is called Solo Artist. This is the eye primer base from Morphe, and it's called Airplay. I really like it. It's kind of a dupe for MAC paint pots, which a lot of people love to use as an eye base. Going in with LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this color is called Buff, and I'm just going to kind of go over with a liquid concealer before I add the powder foundation. Just going over some of the spots and dings and dangs all around. My nose looks rather red there. And that chin is so hard. My chin is so red. It just gets redder as the day goes by. And I'm just going to have a look around. And I'm just kind of working that in with my fingers. For some reason, I didn't do my forehead. I didn't blend in the forehead once, but I guess it doesn't matter. It seemed to look okay in the end. Don't seem to notice how red my nose is. Just making everything else light. And I'm hoping that lip balm and the eye balm will kind of settle in while I do the powder foundation. Okay, we're up to the star player here, and this is the Baked Balance and Brighten. This is the light shade, and I'm going to do half my face first so you can see what it looks like. And it's kind of fun because I was putting it on and I wasn't seeing it. So I kept putting it on and putting it on, and I was thinking, I don't see it, but my skin was starting to look better. So I think that's the magic of this particular product, is that it goes on so smoothly that you think your skin is showing, and that's your skin. It's a really nice powder foundation. It's not dry at all. It doesn't look dry, although I think this shade is a little bit warm and deep for me. I'm not that keen on the shade, and because that brush isn't the best brush, I don't think it gave an even application. However, I think compared to the other side of my face, it looks a little more balanced, and for sure it is a balance and brighten. Now there I go to town there. That delightful headband I am wearing, I got that at TJ Maxx. I love Cookie Monster. He was my favorite on Sesame Street, and so that's my jam here for my headband. And it was very helpful for capturing the powder from going into my hairline and keeping my hair out of my face. Now I'm going down the neck, and I think the décolleté as well. I feel terribly exposed here. I'm wearing kind of a nightgown. This is usually how I get ready in the morning. You know, I take a shower, I have my nightgown on, and I put my makeup on, and then I go and get dressed. So this is kind of my morning routine. It's very, very early in the morning, and I keep going over it and going over it. I am building it up a little bit in places, partially because I honestly don't see it. I can't tell that it's on there, but it is, and it looks pretty natural. And I'm gonna make a face because I had to look in the 10 by mirror because I can't believe it's on there. That's how realistic it looks. Yep. Okay, now we're gonna go into the box set, the best of the best baked full face basics palette, and this has a little bit of everything in it, so we're gonna use everything in this palette one by one. And let's start off with the bronzer. Let me figure out what brush. I'm going to use that brush, okay? Going into the bronzer. It's very light, and it's called Baked Body Frosting. The shade is Tahitian Glow, and I'm just going to put it like I would put a contour bronzer on, a little bit on the sides of the forehead, on the sides of the face, down where the St. Bernard jowls are, and I'm going to go down the neck as well. And I'm hitting all those spots there. So far it doesn't look too bad. I think it is a little warm. Now I'm going down the sides of my neck, which is fairly new for me, going in that direction. But I keep going over those St. Bernard jowls. You can definitely see the bronzer, but it is very light and glowy. Now this blush is very pigmented, and it's a very cool tone. It's called Pink Buttercream, and I have adjusted my brush to be a little more dense, and I'm not sure that was a good idea because it's so pigmented. And there is a little bit of glow with this Pink Buttercream blush as well, so it's cool toned and it's kind of glowy. I'm not sure I'm that crazy about it, putting it down there, doing a little cross of the angels down there. Okay, now what? Let's see. I'm going to use a smaller brush, and I'm going to go into the French Vanilla Powder. That's the plain color. I really like that powder. I'm setting the eye base with it. I'm going underneath my eyes. I'm going over my shiny nose, going over the forehead, along the edge. Now I've gone into that Portofino, which is the very shiny looking highlighter. And I'm putting it with my hands there, looking all shimmery and glowy. Yeah, ooh, okay. All right, so let's go into the eyes now. We're going to start off with the dark shade, and I'm going to go into the crease and the corner first. It's backwards from what I normally do, but what the heck. This whole kit is kind of backwards from what I'd normally use. So I am kind of doing an outer V with the darker color, which is called Almond. And I'm just kind of swishing my brush around to kind of blend it in so there's no harsh lines. And it's not really pigmented, but it is showing. I think it's very elevated when it's not too pigmented. But I think it's not bad. And you know, that color is pretty good, basic all around. If you are medium to light skin toned, I think these shadows are quite nice, very basic. I'm going over the lid with the center shade, which is called Sunstone, and then I'm going into the very light shade for the actual lid and the inner corner, and that is called Oyster. It's got a light glow to it. I'm not that keen on what it's done so far, so I'm going to go back and do underneath the eyes with the darker shade, Almond. And then I'm going over that with the Sunstone a little bit. And then again, I'm trying the inner corner with the Oyster, but it's just not perky enough for me. So I'm going to use the bronzer in there to blend with the eyeshadow. It did nothing. Now I'm going to go into the blush and go along the edge and try to make a cohesive look. That did a little bit. And now I'm going into that Portofino really shimmery highlighter as an eye shadow, and actually it works better as an eye shadow. It's a little bit too strong for me as a highlighter. Going back in to touch up, and you know, it's not bad. It really is not bad. Okay, now I'm skipping down to the lips just because they look so plain to me. I'm just lining with the Charlotte Tilbury, that is Pillow Talk Fair. And Hey, why not? Let's go all retro here. This is MAC in Cream Cup. This is an old classic, good old bridal lipstick. And I'm using an e.l.f. eyebrow pencil in a shade blonde. Now this is a very inexpensive one. I think this is the $3 one. And you know what? It works just fine. I'm not doing really big eyebrows because thank God those big boxy eyebrows are going out of style. I never liked them. I have kind of more dainty eyebrows, and some of you may think I should have a little bit more than I do, but I just don't like big bushy eyebrows. Never have. Just checking in the mirror. Looks like Cookie Monster's looking at you. Now I'm using a Sephora eye pencil in Espresso Matte. I really like the eye pencil a lot, but I did not blend this very well. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm blending it with a brush, but I didn't blend it enough. It looks a little choppy there on the left side. Eek. Okay, well, we all have, it is early in the morning. I'm getting ready for work. So, I'm going to play the it's early and I'm tired card. All right, so now let's go into curling the lashes. And that's my Marilyn Monroe lash curler. I think it was a Wet n Wild limited edition release. Okay, we're going into my new favorite mascara. It's from Revolution Beauty. I just looked up at the clock to see how much time I had. I'm running late. That's the mascara in Wrap Lash. It's a new mascara from Revolution Beauty. It comes in black or brown. I'm using the black. I probably will try the brown, but I tend to go more for black mascaras. I like a big old honkin' lash that shows up, Shirley MacLaine style, Liza Minnelli, ngah, ngah, ngah. Okay, doing the other side now. And, well, I wanted you to see the whole process, even though we're not in the Laura Geller range. I did order a bunch of Laura Geller products. They have not arrived yet. I was hoping to do a full face, but I will demo them when they arrive. I got a blush that wasn't so pink, and I got some eyeliner and lip liner, lipsticks, and things from Laura Geller because I wanted to take advantage of that sale. That was great. Now, that's not my code, that JL15. That's not my code. That's a general code for the public, and it's actually on the website. All right, I'm finishing off with Tower 28's Lip Jelly in Pistachio, and here I am preening. Hey, it didn't come out too bad. I think it's not bad. I think the blush and the bronzer are just a little bit strong, but I think it came out pretty good. Now I'm going to get dressed. And here we are back. Here I am dressed, looking all conservative and formal. Yes, that is my real hair, the country singer hair. And gray coming in underneath. Just wanted you to see how everything looks when your hair's down. I think the blush is a little bit strong, but I can go for it. And conservative dress, of course. All right, here we go. And 9 hours later. So, this is 9 hours later. I did touch up the lipstick, but I didn't touch up anything else. Now, one thing about my job is I have a landline phone and I'm on it a lot. My hands are constantly on this side of my face talking while I'm inputting stuff in the computer. So this whole area came off. Now, as a powder makeup, it goes on pretty well. I mean, it looks like skin, it really does. This is the light shade. I think the fair shade is a little cooler toned, and also the light shade seemed a little bit warm and deeper than I expected it to be. This is more of a medium light, not a light. So I kind of wish I'd gone with the fair shade because this was just a little bit dark, maybe a half shade too dark for me. So I would caution you, if you are ordering this, to consider ordering a slightly lighter shade than you think you need. Usually with powder, you don't want to go light because it goes into the texture in your skin and any dry patches, it'll cling to it. But this doesn't. This went on really well. And as the day progressed and I checked in the ladies' room at lunch, which I always do, it was nice. you know, it still looked good. Everything looked good. But I noticed on this side where my phone and hand are, you know, like I'm on the phone like this, my hand rubs against this, so it rubbed all of the makeup off right in here, and you could see my age spot there came right through. But on this side, it seems like it survived pretty well. You know, I didn't touch this side of my face. I did have a little bit of tearing up, not so much from emotion, but you know, when a wind hits my eyes water really easily. And also in the top of my forehead, I was sweating when I was outside, and that seemed to, when I used a tissue just to blot the sweat, it took a lot of the powder off as well. But this doesn't really look dry as a powder, and it's very surprising. I like it much better than I did when I tried it 10 years ago. When you swirl the brush in, and you get the brush, which is nice, when you do that, and then you just go in, I think it works so well. I mean, this really is a nice powder foundation, and the brush is, you know, it's kind of nice. If you push this up, you get more of a denseness, and you can do your like bronzer contour or your blush. Now, I didn't feel so good about this part of the whole thing. Now, this usually retails, the foundation, this, and the brush usually retail together for $69. So that's 70 bucks, basically, 70 bucks plus tax. I still feel the same about this that I always did, and I think the main thing is I like this French vanilla powder. It reminds me of the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. That's a very nice powder, and I think it's award-winning too. The bronzer I thought was kind of too glowy and not very pigmented enough, and I'm telling you, this is the only set they have. They don't have a deeper toned set. So if you're a woman of color or a man of color and try putting that on, it's just going to make your skin shiny. It's not going to be any kind of a bronzer for deeper skin tones. So I was disappointed in the bronzer. The blush to me was too cool tone for me. I like more of a warmer tone, and on second thought, when I looked at the Tuscan set had more of a corally color blush, and that to me, and I think the blush on that was the bronzer was a little bit deeper. I think the Tuscan set would have been a better fit for me, personally. The eyeshadows were okay, but they weren't very pigmented, and this has micro glitter in it. Really, it's like major micro glitter. It is so tiny you cannot see it unless you get in a 10 by mirror. But to me, microplastics in my makeup is bad for the environment. It's bad for your skin. It's just bad all the way around. I just don't like microplastics, and they are in there. What happens is they go through water filters, things like that. They wind up in the water, in seawater. Microscopic creatures ingest it, and then fish eat those, and it can really hurt the ecosystem to have too many microplastics in there. And I do know that they make shiny, shimmery blushes with more natural ingredients, such as the mica rocks and things. They have like a shimmer to them. So this microplastics really puts me off of this kit also. Now this kit is thick because the terracotta tray that they bake this powder on is in there, and it keeps it stabilized. And I did like that they had this plastic holder on here, and this is a nice protectant for travel and for shipping for them. It keeps everything intact. I thought that was a really great thing. It did come off eventually. I had to use tweezers to take it off. They wrap all of their stuff really well. It came very quickly. It came within a few days. I got it within a few days. So I thought that, you know, all in all, I talked to customer service a little bit about this, and because I hadn't received a receipt. I didn't like the way the website takes your order. I mean, it says, "Oh, Catherine, you know, thank you, we've taken your order," and they show a picture of a map with my address on it. but nothing else. There wasn't really anything else. And so I screenshot my order so that I would have some kind of a, some kind of a receipt, because I didn't get any receipt. But a couple of days later, I got the deal. So this is not worth it, but the powder makeup and the brush are definitely worth buying on their own. I definitely recommend the powder foundation. The brush is nice. I've washed it now a couple times, and as far as doing the test, it has been over almost 10 hours now since I put it on. And aside from redoing my lipstick, I didn't redo anything. And I think that the eyeshadow held up to a degree. It wasn't very pigmented, and there's not a whole lot of colors to make more than one kind of look. And I did use that shiny micro glitter blush highlighter as an eyeshadow, because I think when you have a powder palette like this, they're just powder colors. These are just powder colors, so those are things that I think you can use these intermittently as eyeshadows as well. And I even used a little of the red on the end. I added a little bit of the red on the end. So I think that, they weren't bad products. I would get the French vanilla on its own as a powder. I did use that under my eyes to set, and I think that's nice. It's not glowy at all. It's a really nice powder, really nice quality powder. So the French vanilla, which is award-winning, I would get that on its own, and I definitely would repurchase this face powder. And I have the shade Light in this, and now this foundation starts off as a liquid, and they place it on a terracotta tile and bake it. Sounds so quaint. It really does, doesn't it? You can see some little Italian guy with a pizza oven or something putting it in. It bakes for 24 hours until all of the moisture has been removed from the foundation, and it has dried to a solid mass, which is this. And this is what you're putting on your face, is the dried up foundation. Now what I like about this is, as this breaks down, it just wears away naturally. When you have like a liquid foundation, say one of these kind of foundations, when they break down, sometimes they crack, or they pool in your lines, and they can look very unnatural when they break down. But when this breaks down, it just wears away. And I think that's a wonderful age-friendly thing. And of course, Laura Geller's brand is all about being age-friendly. She developed this for women over 40 because she wanted something that would make us radiant and bring some life and color back to our faces. The color thing, a little bit too much, I think, because I think this light shade is a little bit dark. The fair shade, I think, is pretty much closer to my skin tone. I don't know what somebody who has fairer skin than me would do, because this is too dark, and the fair would be just right for me. It might be too dark for somebody with very, very pale skin. In Italy, I think they have like a deeper skin tone, maybe, I don't know, but I think that they could work on having more shades. Now, they do go deep toned with their shades. So if you're a person with deeper skin tones, you can use the blush, you can use the eyeshadow, you can use the powder and the blush, but this bronzer, no. This bronzer is kind of a waste, and I'm disappointed mostly with this bronzer and the shimmery highlighter with the micro glitter in it. But so again, they have a little diagram on the back how she recommends you do it, and I sort of followed that, but not really. The brush, foundation are great. Everything else I wouldn't say is worth it. $69, no, I wouldn't pay it. I wouldn't do it. And I'm glad I got it on sale, because I wanted to experience it and share that with you. So Laura Geller, this is the basic Balance and Brighten. This is not the glow one. Don't get the glow one. Just don't get it. Just Trust me on this one, don't get the glow one, okay? Because you're not gonna like it. Because this one looks like natural skin. You want your base to look like natural skin. You can add a little bit of glow later on with your highlighter and things like that. Don't start off with a real glowy base. The Balance and Glow, or whatever it is, Baked and Glow. That's her newer one. Don't do it. Just don't do it. So the sale is going on. I don't know if it's all of July that it's going on, but have a look on her website. Go onto her website. Ulta is also featuring some of her items on sale, but I think you get a better deal right now going to Laura Geller's site itself. And if you put in that code at checkout, put in the code JL15 for July 15, you get 15% off. All those sale prices add up to a good deal, and then you get 15% more off. So I thought that was a terrific deal, and so I'm rushing this to get it up. This is my third video in 1 week, and this is just really unprecedented of me, not to be coy. But anyway, yeah, I like the foundation, and I think after almost 10 hours, the foundation held up really well. My heart goes out to you down in Texas with those flash floods, and I hope they can find those girls that were at the summer camp. There's so much bad news right now that I'm trying to stay away from it on my channel here, but you can't really ignore what's going on in the rest of the world. Anyway, take care. Toodles.